After Clone Wars Season 7 wrapped up, most of you know that we missed out on a lot of unfinished episodes and story arcs that could have been animated if Dave Filoni was given a bigger budget and time frame to work with. One of these unfinished episodes takes us to the planet Utapau, where Obi-Wan and Anakin discover a massive kyber crystal that was intended to be used to power the Death Star. While camped on the planet, we get an intensely emotional moment between Anakin and Obi-Wan, where Anakin spills his true thoughts on Ahsoka's exile from the Jedi Order and how the Jedi Council are to blame. I'm going to break down exactly how Anakin felt after Ahsoka left the Jedi Order and the impact that it had on Anakin. So before we dive deep into it, remember to subscribe to the channel to be notified as soon as I release a full recap on the whole Crystal Crisis on Utapau Arc. At the moment, only 4.3% of you who are watching this video are subscribed to the channel. So if you do enjoy the content, remember to hit that subscribe button for more. As Anakin and Obi-Wan are traveling the surface of Utapau, searching for evidence to link the Separatists to the Amani people on the planet, they are forced to set up camp while waiting for more information. As they are dealing with some trouble while walking to their campsite, Anakin says he will contact Ahsoka to ask if she can provide help on Utapau.
I'll contact Ahsoka. Maybe she can...
Anakin.
Now, because this unfinished episode was initially meant to take place before Clone Wars Season 7, this is the first time Anakin mentions Ahsoka since her exile from the Jedi Order. As he is expressing this thought, Anakin quickly cuts himself off because he knows that it is simply not possible for Ahsoka to return to help them as she is no longer a Jedi. Obi-Wan acknowledges the pain that Anakin is currently feeling because of Ahsoka's absence and offers to talk about it with him. Anakin, being the man he is, does not want to express his feelings about the situation to Obi-Wan, choosing to let his anger build up inside him. His master doesn't push the matter any further, letting Anakin cool off as they walk towards the campsite.
Anakin.
Forget about it. She's gone.
Anakin, do you want to talk about it?
What's there to talk about?
Nothing, I suppose. Perhaps we should set up camp. Sound like a plan?
Whatever you say, Master.
This unfinished episode is absolutely essential to the fall of Anakin Skywalker into Darth Vader, so I really wish they did choose to animate this properly and include it in Clone Wars Season 7. As the two settle at this new campsite, Anakin is still clearly distressed about the situation, with anger and emotion still brewing inside of him. He wants nothing more than for Ahsoka to rejoin the Order and become his apprentice once more. Obi-Wan notices that he is still dwelling on his feelings about Ahsoka, and warns him that nothing good can come of dwelling on the past. Anakin angrily snaps back at Obi-Wan, admitting to him that he misses Ahsoka. He doesn't understand how Ahsoka could have left the Order. Obi-Wan admits that the Jedi Council made many mistakes in the trial and investigation of Ahsoka, to which Anakin explodes with fury, saying that it was completely wrong and unjustified for the Jedi Order to do what they did.
Anakin, dwelling on Ahsoka's decision won't bring her back.
I miss her, okay? Is that what you wanted me to say? I still can't understand how she could have left the Order.
It was a surprise decision to all of us.
It was wrong. She's a Jedi. She belongs with us.
After this moment, we really start to see the rift forming between Anakin and Obi-Wan that appears in Revenge of the Sith. Obi-Wan argues to Anakin that it was Ahsoka's choice alone to leave the Order after being welcomed back in, but Anakin ragefully responds that she really had no choice. Obi-Wan also then says that Ahsoka clearly let her emotions cloud her judgment in the decision to leave the Order, which is something that definitely also applies to Anakin.
She's one of us.
She made the decision, Anakin.
Well, what choice did we give her? The moment there were any suspicions about her loyalty, the Council turned their back on her.
I will grant you mistakes were made, but she chose to leave. Part of the Jedi way is not letting emotion cloud your better judgment, and that's precisely what Ahsoka did, even in her most critical moment.
At this point, Anakin is seething, but stays silent. His sadness is becoming overwhelming inside of him, but he knows that his master is partially correct in what he is saying. Anakin then offers to take the first watch of their camp, allowing Obi-Wan to get some rest. While laying down, we get a very ominous camera angle of Obi-Wan looking towards the screen with Anakin standing angrily in the background. He tells Anakin that he cannot take responsibility for the actions of his apprentice, and that he shouldn't be so hard on himself.
You can't take responsibility for Ahsoka's decision, Anakin.
Anakin then chillingly responds, asking Kenobi, "How would you feel if I became a major disappointment?" To which Kenobi responds, "It's not the same."
How would you feel if I turned into a major disappointment?
It's not the same.
It's precisely the same. You took me under your wing and practically raised me. I'm your Padawan, just like Ahsoka was mine.
The scene then ends on the most chilling note possible. Anakin asks his master, "How well would you sleep knowing I failed you?" Kenobi then heartbreakingly responds, "Not very well, I'd imagine. Luckily that isn't true, and never will be."
How well would you sleep knowing I failed you?
Not very well, I imagine. Luckily, that isn't true, and never will be.
It's honestly so painful to hear that, knowing what happened only a few short months after this scene on Mustafar. Let me know down in the comments below if you knew this unfinished scene existed, because if you didn't, it's one of the most emotional ever and really should have been included in the final series, or even an 8th season after Clone Wars Season 7 Episode 12. So that is how Anakin felt after Ahsoka left the Jedi Order, and how he blamed the Jedi Council for their shocking mistakes. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to be notified as soon as I release more awesome Star Wars content. Thanks again so much for watching. Cheers guys, hope to see you in the next one.